Alright, what's up everyone? Sorry for the hair. We are going to cover the technicals for Ethereum. Gonna cover a little bit of fundamentals. It's gonna be a very short episode. I should have probably pre-recorded it last night, but I was just too tired that I just fell asleep. Okay, so I have been kind of on the ball with regards to getting people to accumulate Ethereum, and there's going to be pretty much interim volatility, but the climb to 1000 is pretty much in the works, right? As we speak, Ethereum is already at 745 to probably always having resistance at 750 for no really real good particular reason. I would see probably resistance at either 800 or $831 before we have pretty much some sharp technical take profits, right? Or sharp sell-offs. It is also going to be coming towards the new year. So I wouldn't encourage any kind of short-term trading whatsoever. I'm really focused on accumulating. I don't really care too much about looking at short-term profits, because I think short-term profits are going to be the killer of the long-term growth, right? And I don't want people to focus only on the 20-30% when they can clearly make 2x to 3x just on Ethereum alone. And this is my basis, okay? Staking as of now, okay, shucks, sorry, I probably have to shift to the screen. Okay, what's up, Corey? Good morning. Always, see, that's the thing, guys. Dedication pays off. Corey has been following the channel for a very, very long time. And he obviously has his own investment strategies and trading strategies. But I think it's important to kind of be disciplined in identifying the market, right? And I think even if you're not someone who is a mathematician or a statistician, statistics, right? You're good in statistics and stuff like that. I think as long as you are someone who looks at the market long enough and knows where to find the information, eventually you will get there. Like, it's just a matter of time. Like, I'm not an academic by any means, right? I am not an academic, but because I'm dedicated enough to the markets, right? Eventually you hone this skill. Like, you roughly just know when to go out and fish. You know what I mean? Like, an inexperienced fisherman will go out at the wrong time. They won't get what they think they will want to catch. They probably bring the wrong equipment, the wrong bait. You know what I'm saying? So same thing. If you want to get good at this, guys, you just have to show a certain amount of dedication, and eventually you'll get there. So anyway, enough of the rant. Time to go into the charts. Okay, so guys, if we look at the weekly charts for Ethereum at the moment, it's almost going to become parabolic. Almost. Will there be interim take profits? I pretty much can guarantee that there will be take profits, because you must understand that Ethereum has had quite a stellar run. Okay, it has had quite a stellar run already. So let's just look at the all-time low for this year to the current all-time high. It's already up 528%, right? But in comparison to everything else, to every other cryptocurrency, I would say that it kind of pales slightly in comparison. But don't forget that Ethereum is the second largest in terms of market cap. As of now, there are not many, there's not much focus on Ethereum. Okay, why is that so? Because all the focus and all the buying is on BTC. Now, how does one know that? If you are already on certain exchanges, you will realize that exchanges are asking for BTC and USDT deposits. Right, this goes to show that they are looking for liquidity to prepare for next year's trades, or at least whatever is the interim. They are falling short because there's just so much BTC buying, right, that as of now, if you were to cash out from the exchanges, you probably will have an issue. So they do always have reserves, and they are calling out for the public to start depositing or locking in their BTC and USDT and giving you a reward. Now, obviously, you can consider doing that, but I looked at the interest rates and the rewards is not very fantastic, right? But obviously, if you're just storing BTC in your ledger, you get nothing but capital appreciation. Whereas exchanges, centralized, right, which poses a certain level of risk in that sense on the security aspect. But nonetheless, usually the larger exchanges are pretty okay. But if you're interested in those aspects of earning more on your BTC, right? There is I think there's only a 2 to 3% of 3 to 4%. It's not attractive whatsoever, but at least you're getting something, right? Whereas USDT, they're giving you at least around 6% or so. That means it has dropped, right? Because they anticipate at least the first quarter is not going to be as attractive because it's still the holiday period, the holiday mood, not to mention that there's going to be the Chinese New Year either in early February or late. Okay, anyway, there is going to be a holiday period during that period. So the activity, don't forget, a large part comes from Asia. Okay, still Asia is still the driving force for cryptocurrency. Okay, hands down. And at the same time, people are still trying to figure out why Ethereum is running as hard as it is. Now take note that as the volume goes up and as the prices go up, you're able to soak up more money. You're able to buy. There's going to be a continuity of buying. Just a few days ago, we were looking at sub 700. Now it's $742 already. Okay, so probably a few days later, I could be talking and then it will be at $800. Okay, or it could be at 600. Whatever the price, it doesn't matter. I think the most important thing is that people get the opportunity to accumulate, and eventually, once the staking is readily available, what does that mean? That means when you have Ethereum, okay, for now, unfortunately, it is a minimum of 32 Ethereum. Okay, unfortunately, it is 32 Ethereum minimum. But the moment that there is occasional campaigns, so what are these campaigns? These campaigns will also be something like exchanges opening up and requesting for liquidity, because at the end of the day, right, every large liquidity provider, market maker, they need the particular token and of course whatever pairing so that they can provide the liquidity for that particular pair. So for example, right now we're looking at FUSDT. They need enough liquidity for FUSDT. Don't forget that people are allowed to cash out, or they are allowed to withdraw the tokens into their cold wallet if you decide to do that. So liquidity is very important for exchanges. Okay, so come next year, you will start to see, and this is the information that you must pay attention. You will notice that if Ethereum's demand starts picking up, they will also start asking you to lock in your Ethereum. And although it's not staking, that means you're not staking on the Ethereum network, you are probably requested to lock in your Ethereum as if like a fixed deposit to provide liquidity for the exchanges. Then you can check out the interest rate. The higher the interest rate just goes to show the demand is better. And I would say that usually, in terms of my personal experience, you're looking at the March period onwards, March 2021 onwards. That's when the market starts to warm up again. Okay, when the market starts to warm up again, you will see the activity pile in. So from now until March, you have an opportunity to at least start looking at certain levels that you could consider buying Ethereum, right? You don't have to focus on the smaller cap coins for now, because I think another thing that I want to cover is that whether you are a micro account, usually I would consider $1,000 and above, or $10,000 and above, I would say it's a micro account. Whereas if you are 10K and above, you are already at a certain level where you are able to absorb and take on certain levels of risk, and you're probably planning to invest in the space pretty seriously. But if you're at 1K, that means you're still kind of figuring out, okay, how does this space work? I would say that is a mini account to micro account, right? So there are going to be folks that are going to be touching the margin or the leverage products within the account, right? Because it's only like two simple questions. If you don't know how to answer those two questions, that means you really shouldn't touch margin, guys. It's only just two questions. But anyway, moral of the story, okay? Moral of the story is that if you're going to take it as a gamble, your mentality is always going to be like that. And I can pretty much guarantee all it takes is just one bad trade and your whole account is wiped out. So going into 2021, if you're seeing this video for the very first time and you have never done any margin trading, at least have the decency to go and educate yourself how it works. So it's just very simple. 1% movement will be 3x if you have a 3x margin on your money. You obviously also can take on lesser margin, meaning to say that, okay, you don't have to borrow the whole 3x. You can borrow, say, 0.5, 0.25 more than what you have. Okay, so $1, you can borrow 250. You don't have to borrow up to $2 more to make it $3. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just borrow 25 cents more, or you borrow 50 cents more on your dollar. You kind of get where I'm coming from. So that way, right, you don't get liquidated the moment there are there's large volatility. I can't keep telling you don't do it, because at the end of the day, the more you tell someone don't do it, they do it, right? It's very normal. So I try to kind of avoid that for at least the time being, until your account is of a certain size, right? And you are more confident, more familiar with the market, right? And then from then, if you decide to go and touch some margin, make sure it's a segregated portion. It's a separate pool of funds, right? Where you know that, okay, my main stack is a dollar cost averaging strategy. It's definitely in the cold wallet. It's away from the exchanges. I own the private keys. Nobody can touch that unless a gun is put to my head, or somehow I get drunk enough that I transfer the funds across with that wallet. So the circumstances are of you getting compromised is very low. But if you're going to be sticking to the exchanges, okay, then you trade with a separate pool of funds that is dedicated to margin trading or just doing short-term swing trades. That's totally fine. But it takes some time to build up to that level, okay? So give yourself ample time to understand the market, because I know everybody wants to throw in money into the market like right now, okay? I'm getting more and more inquiries. I understand people get excited. Completely understand. If I was new, I would also get relatively excited, because there's just too much mainstream news covering cryptocurrency. And at the same time, you start to see more and more governments to influencers, okay, not myself, but more and more political to even, political to celebrity influencers in the financial space, to the startup, to the tech space, starting to talk about cryptocurrency. Whether is it Bitcoin specifically, or whether is it talking about a certain sector, it's exciting. Okay, I admit it's exciting, but I must let everyone know, keep a level head, because at the end of the day, you are investing and trading with your money. So when you're trading and investing with your money, they are not going to take the loss. They are not going to take the loss. You are taking the loss. So if you are going to be the one, being sad and missing out on the market, you only have yourself to blame, not that particular person that influenced you or that piece of information. I'm so sorry, because you are trading with your money. If you don't even know how to manage your risk, you stay out of the market. You just stay out of the market, guys. That's the cold hard truth. All right. So anyway, okay, let's get into the levels. So practically the only historical data that we have is back in 2018 April. That is the only thing that I see. The moment we breach the $800 mark, right, or $789, $795, whatever, it doesn't matter how specific. The moment we break 800, guys, it is sky's the limit already. Okay, it is sky's the limit already. So, like I said, I don't want people to do this short term. If you're seeing Ethereum for the very first time and you don't have any exposure, and $740 to $750 is no issue for you, and you can set that aside for a good period of time. You don't have any need for this money to pay rent. It's a miscellaneous expense. It's your bonus from doing great work during the year. Buy one Ethereum just to get some exposure, just to understand how it works. Just try to see how much gas fees you pay just to transfer that Ethereum from one place to another. Just experience it, okay? Just experience it for yourself. Also, at the same time, experience the volatility. That means, for example, you spending $741, tomorrow it could be $700. The next day, it could be $850. Maybe 2 weeks later, it's $900. Experience that volatility. Then, next year, plan another amount to rebuy. Whether is it on a higher basis or in a lower basis, have the reason to buy off or at least build up enough capital to buy another one. And from then, that's how you build up. Because right now, as we speak, there's only less than 1%, not even 2% of the total Ethereum that is staked. Because it is not full on yet. Everybody's watching and seeing whether the initial staking route is safe and secure. The moment it is proven to be safe and secure, it is going to be a green light. A lot of the bigger money will pile in. This is not hype, it's just common sense. Because usually everybody is on a wait and see mode. Look at the vaccine. Everybody's just saying that, okay, we will allow everyone else to have the vaccine first. And then I think the CEO of either, I can't remember the pharmaceutical company. It's either Pfizer or Sanofi. Okay, it's either Pfizer or Sanofi that launched the vaccine. So the CEO is saying we will let other people try it first. He doesn't want to jump the queue. Moral of the story is, if it works, you will want to be the first. Okay, it's like common sense. So it obviously probably doesn't work as well, but just allow enough sample size to take route to kind of enough people taking it first, and if it really works, okay, fine. And also, it's usually if you're working and you need to travel a lot, for example, like pilots or business people, folks, high flyer folks who need to travel a lot, you probably have to take the vaccine first anyway. Okay, so since statistically it's gonna be, hopefully the world starts to open up, the bullishness will start to return to the market. Now, of course, there are people who are saying, okay, this year's whole economic pullback is going to be felt next 2 years. Okay, fine. Then why is everything just starting to skyrocket? Why are the collectibles market going up? Why is the stock market still going up? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be more stimulus. Cheap interest rates, cheap money is going to flood the market. Hence, all these things are just going to continue to be pushed upwards. Not everyone lost their job. Yes, I know that unemployment rate is at 14% in the US at the moment and could continue to climb. But at the end of the day, guys, there are people who still have money, and money, the rich are untouched. Okay, people who are not very high net worth, who still have a job, they will still be looking for alternatives to hedge against a very, very weak US dollar. That is the truth. And you're going to continue to see all these assets continue to climb higher and higher. It's just the truth. Okay, and it's just a matter of time before you have to start building a portfolio of something, or else you putting your money in the bank is really not the best option. Right? If you don't, the reason why you're doing that, because you don't know what's out there. Okay? So right now, Ethereum to me is one of the best bets. Okay? Volatility, I pretty much can see pullbacks to possibly 600 to max 500. It's not going to go back down to $80. It's not even going to probably go back down to $400. But I would say that a pullback to 500 to 600 is very viable. It's very, very viable. But in the interim, what I see is parabolic movement. I only can see that the so-called is just the start of the hockey stick, as they say. The hockey stick. So take note. Try to understand a little bit of basic technical analysis. Okay, don't jump in if you can help it. Like I said, there is Coinergy. Okay, there's Coinergy. There's TradingView. These are free to sign up. Basic tools, guys. And just go and YouTube it. Fibonacci, retracement, go and look at RSI, relative strength index, stuff like that. Just very simple things. Just use simple indicators. No need to go and get yourself complexed and all that, and then after that, in the end, you feel very discouraged. I think the number one killer of why people don't learn technical analysis is because, firstly, one, they're probably lazy, and two, right, they don't know who to trust. So I totally understand, but like I said, go and find someone, right, who is just willing to teach you, or at least watch a free YouTube video on technical analysis. It's quite straightforward, guys. It's really very straightforward. It's like if you know how to buy something on Amazon, you should know how to at least go and Google this. It's damn simple. Okay? So, anyway, quickly, I want to take some questions. Before I leave. Today is going to be a very, very short session, guys. Let me see. Let's see. Sorry, I need to pop out the what you call it, the pop out chat. Okay. Oh man. Okay. No, I'm just thinking whether Cheche is sitting beside you. Okay. So okay, guys. So if you have no guys, if you have no questions, right? Then okay, I'll just let maybe about 3 to 5 minutes for questions, or maybe 1 minute for questions. If I don't see any questions, I have to end the stream already because I need to leave already. Okay, hey Ryan, I would like to send you that ERC20 I was talking about last stream, just for you to track it. I think you might see value in it soon, and you can tell me what you think. Yeah, Corey, feel free to drop me an email at ryan@cryptogrinders.com. Grinders with an S, and yeah, feel free to do that. Okay, guys, so no questions. I think it's pretty straightforward. See you in the next live stream, guys. Okay, now, okay, wow, this kind of sound of delayed chat, is it? Next, well, I just, okay, so next time can we talk about Zilliqa? Wow, Zilliqa, okay. I guess, right? We can, okay, I think alts, right, must take a back seat for now. Because it's not full-on altcoin season. Yes, when altcoin season? I think everybody's wondering when is altcoin season. Definitely not now. Look at the dominance, guys. It's 70%. That means you're gonna, who is gonna enjoy, and why I'm specifically talking about Ethereum. Guys, I'm an altcoin guy. I also want altcoin season, okay? But the truth of the matter is the attention is only on the large caps now. You can see, I can see clearly some alts starting to move. Okay, I can see that. I saw yesterday Polkadot, and I think Polkadot was mentioned by Lawrence Go. Lawrence Go mentioned Polkadot. And when he mentioned, it was obviously, he's probably having a position earlier than $6. And Polkadot actually moved very, very aggressively in the last 48 hours. Currently now, Polkadot is at 750, doing pretty well. Okay, Quantum still good fundamentally. Okay, Quantum is good fundamentally. However, traction and attention is not on Quantum because they're always slightly slower, right? And I think there's nothing wrong being slow, but there's nothing wrong with being slow and delivering a great product. But the problem with the crypto market, right, is that you need to not only be solid, secure, and fast. You need to be able to push out your product fast enough so that the market can capture it. This is one thing that Quantum has failed to do pretty much continuously. It's not the same hype level as a lot of other projects, but I would say that in terms of whether they're developing as a team, they are. It's just that, are you patient enough? You know, are you patient enough to leave a certain sum of whatever you have and just allow it to do its thing? And this is the reality. When you build a crypto portfolio, okay, it doesn't have to be Quantum, guys. You can, whatever you all just mentioned, maybe it's Zilliqa, maybe it's whatever, XRP or whatever. Any thoughts about recovery on XRP? Wow, okay. Yeah, after the lawsuit. After the lawsuit is settled, however it is settled, whether in court, out of court, then prices will start to rise. I know that XRP has lost a ton of value. Okay, it has lost a ton of value as of now, and I think it's going to be quite. It's probably not going to be very attractive, at least for the interim. But those who have funny money to set aside, why not? If it's just $100 to a few dollars to just go and try out what XRP decides to do after the lawsuit, yeah. But would I put like huge sums of money? I wouldn't. It's too big of a gamble for me. It doesn't make sense, right? It's just like, for example, a stock filing for Chapter 11, and then after that you're hoping for a bailout, and then after that but when you talk about bailout, right, stocks usually get restructured. You don't retain the same value. Yes, existing investors potentially could get some form of payout, but it's not going to be full value. Okay, if you're an early investor, no problem. But if you're someone who traded it and it's a restructure, it's a totally different story. You're not going to double up or triple up. No way. Okay, it's a restructuring. anyone who comes in to restructure a company always wants to buy pennies on the dollar. Okay, they're not gonna pay full value for a company that's going bankrupt. So same thing with XRP. I'm not saying they're going bankrupt, but they're having a lawsuit right now. So it's a very different thing. Okay, Ramp. Okay, best upcoming DeFi project from Singapore. Well, same thing, guys. It may not be from Singapore. It may be registered in Singapore, but it's not necessarily a team from Singapore. But if it's a team from Singapore, great. I'll check it out. And they're gonna have to vie and fight with everything out there. Curve, SushiSwap, Uniswap. An exchange is, at the end of the day, all about volume, all about what's available, the user interface, the user experience, whether is it safe, is it secure, okay? It may be great to buy the RAM token or whatever just to hype up, right? We are all moving. Let's say, for example, next year, DeFi kicks back in, okay? The excitement starts coming back in again. And after that, you see a lot of money going back in team. That's possible. But what's the point of coming out a new project only to have it wiped out by the ones that are already leading the space, right? So that being said, I think I kind of covered most of the questions. Guys, like I said, you can always just put your comments, and then if I see stuff that I can help out, or I can put my 2 cents worth, yeah, I'll always be able to comment on that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next live stream.